Hello, everyone. Welcome, one and all, to Arch City Comics. I am your host, Adam AF. If you're not already, please make sure you are subscribed and you've got that bell rung for notifications so you can stay up to date on all of the latest and greatest Comicsgate crowdfunding books. Now, we're going to take it back a bit here, and this is not a new book. This is something that was crowdfunded last year. This is Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody by Jeff Hicks. Jeff Hicks is one of the world-class bullshitters. They've got a pretty big YouTube channel out there. It's got about 147,000 subscribers. It's no small feat these days. So he crowdfunded this book last year, Stealing Solo. It was a really funny parody about a group of fans that kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Episode 7 in their basement because they thought that Episode 7 was absolutely terrible, which it was. Now, I unfortunately did not get a chance to back this book. This had closed long before I was made aware that it even existed or before I was really a part of the Comicsgate scene. But this book is finally reaching its backers' hands, and now it's they raised over $52,000 with 1,360 backers. So a good amount of people backed this book and were excited about this book. Now, it is reaching backers' hands. Unfortunately, it is leaving quite a bit to be desired. The company that Jeff used to print and fulfill the book made a very, very grievous error, if you would, in the fulfillment end. And Jeff addressed this yesterday himself in a video that he posted on World Class Bullshitters. And we'll take it away to Jeff to let him tell you exactly what went wrong.
The company that I paid decided to ship the book without an envelope, print the information on the back of the comic book, and just throw it in the mail.
Now, he said, just throw it in the mail, print the shipping info on the back, and it wasn't even packaged. Now, this blew my mind to hear. This is something that I've never heard of before. And there's been a lot of crowdfunding campaigns. There's a lot of fulfillment centers out there that also print books for you, more than I could care to name off at this point. But I had to turn to Twitter to see exactly what the hell was going on here. And props to George Peter Gatsis for posting pictures of his atrocious looking book here. So this is how the book came. Just like this. This is the front cover. This is the back cover. Again, this is the front cover. This is the back cover. And this is exactly how the book was in the mail. Look, it looks like a postcard where it's got the paid stamp and then just the shipping info. Like a postcard or a flyer from your local church telling you what time mass times were. This is absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that any fulfillment company would think that this was okay. It's absolutely not okay. And of course, Jeff's pissed. And backers are pissed. I'd be pissed too. So this is what Jeff continuing had to say.
I'm excited for you to read it. I'm proud of the content of the book.
Yes, this was something he was proud of. He worked a long time on this book. This book was actually supposed to ship in February, so it has seen numerous delays already, which is why he chose to go with a fulfillment center that also did printing, or a printer that also did fulfillment, however you want to look at it. He was trying to get the product in backers' hands as quickly as possible. And while that happened, it definitely did not go the way he wanted it to. So on top of that issue in itself, the book itself, the interiors had some problems. Now, most companies upon your request, will send you a proof copy. Ethan Van Sciver showed these off when he was getting ready to ship Cyberfrog. It is a copy that is exactly how the book is going to be printed. It's for you to look over and make sure that there are no errors, last minute typos, make sure the print file's not corrupted, that sort of thing. So this is an interior page here that is, you can see where the dialogue runs completely outside of the panel. It wasn't formatted correctly. And that's terrible. That's something that should have been caught before these books even went out, regardless that they went out without a mailer, naked, through the USPS around holiday time. I'm sure these were just like crammed into people's mailboxes because they don't give a damn. They don't know what this is. And honestly, as a mail person, I wouldn't know what it is either, because it just looks like a postcard or something. So not only did the printer screw up, but I think Jeff did screw up a little bit by not taking a little bit more time. The book was already late. Like, there's not much else you can do. It sucks, but every backer out there is going to be willing to wait for a product that is perfect in the end. Not something that's choppy and cut off and has printing errors and is shipped naked in the mail. Here, George points out that it looks like some of the art shifted to the edge of the page where it should have been more centered, and it ends up getting cut off by the printer. Here you see it again. There's no gutter, as they call it, down the side. There should be more space there. So on top of the fulfillment printer errors, Jeff did kind of screw up a little bit. He should have taken a little bit more time and gotten himself a proof copy and made sure that the interior of the book itself was exactly how he wanted it to go, how he wanted it to look. Because I've seen this happen before, and it's enough to ruin a campaign. Now, he did go on to say in his video that he has talked to the printing company. He is trying to rectify this, whether it be as a refund to him, that he can go to a different company who is going to take more care of his product, or they're going to rectify it themselves. They're going to reprint the books and reship the books in some kind of mailer, whether it just be a flat rate mailer or pretty much the method that most people use these days are those Gemini mailers, because they're damn near indestructible. They're good thick cardboard. They fold numerous times to make sure that book is protected, and anything else that you're shipping with it. Because going back and looking at the campaign, the tiers that he had available, he had a single book, he had a blank sketch cover variant, he had a book and a poster combo, which, if that's how the book shipped, how do you think they shipped a book and a poster? Like, do you think they taped it to the inside and tossed it in the mail? There was also a both books poster and a T-shirt. So I shudder to think how that T-shirt is going to wind up on people's doorsteps. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if you see some mailmen walking around with Stealing Solo shirts on, because they were just shipped with a printing label, just folded up and dropped in the mailbox. The thing about this whole thing is, I'm not trying to attack Jeff. Jeff's a good guy. Like I said, he worked really hard on this project for a long time. I want to know what company he used to fulfill this. That's my concern, because there's a lot of up-and-coming creators out there who can't afford to make this kind of mistake, even once. I mean, Jeff raised a good amount of money with this campaign. Not to say that he wants to waste any of it, you know, handing, especially if he's got to hand out refunds. That's a no-go. But there's a lot of little guys out there that deserve to know what company not to use in the long run. And if Jeff's is in this Comicsgate thing with us, you know, I understand that there is a bit of a rift. There's a difference between Fandom Menace and Comicsgate, but he's producing comics away from the mainstream through Indiegogo. You know, he's part of the High Council. He is, whether he admits it or not, if he comes out and says it, he is Comicsgate. And with Comicsgate, we are a community that want to help each other. So by withholding that information as to which company he used, he's hurting a lot of little guys in the long run. Because what if a smaller creator who only raises $5,000 on his campaign, just enough to fulfill, you know, and pay off his artist, what if he accidentally decides to use that company and his backers get these atrocious looking books in the mail, unwrapped and exposed to the elements? That creator is probably not going to recover. You know, not all these guys have YouTube platforms with 100,000 plus subscribers. Some of these guys are putting all they have into these books that they're producing. And I feel like Jeff owes it to those guys to come out and say who he used. Now, I'm also not saying that he needs to blast them all over YouTube or blast it all over Twitter. That's not what I'm saying either. But he can spread the word through creator channels like the back channels and let these guys know who not to use. Because that's the right thing to do. So, Jeff, if you're seeing this, if you're watching this, first of all, thank you. Second of all, what you need to do, other than obviously make the backers happy, which you already know that, I'm not telling you that, you need to inform the other creators underneath you of what's going on and what company should not be used. That is all I'm really asking. I mean, I don't think that's so much to ask. Do you? No, I don't think so. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I just wanted to make this short video to get this off of my chest. Like I said, if you have not already, make sure you're subscribed. You've got the bell rung for notifications. And give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you think it was terrible. Let me know in the comments. Until next time, adios!